Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Look, in this video, I'm going to kinda crap on a new Steam game release. I actually really appreciate the release, but this might be one of the most overpriced Steam game releases I've ever seen in my life. It's hard to say the most overpriced because there's been some wild releases, and you get the idea of games getting like meme remasters and being like $60 and so on and so forth, but Yu-Gi-Oh! The Early Days Collection, and you know what? If you guys don't know, I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day. I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while. The last format that I was playing regularly is, I want to say, ABC format. Like, you literally just bought 3 structure decks and you built, like, an incredible deck. You had to obviously buy, like, some other cards, but that's the last time I played, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, consistently, was ABC format, and had a lot of fun with it, and obviously played it growing up when I was super, super young, watched the anime, everything like that, played a lot of the games. So the fact that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection is available on Steam, and Konami is compiling a lot of these early days games and bringing them over, hey, that's really cool. You can say that a lot of these games can be emulated, but, you know, at the end of the day, having an official release, I think, is very beneficial. Now, it's beneficial until you look at the price point, and I'm gonna try to make some sense of the price point in a little bit, but it is $50. This, at the end of the day, is an emulated collection of some very, very old games, and you are pricing this at $50. Now, there are some really cool games in here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 2 Dark Duel Stories, Monster Capsule, Dark Duel Stories, Duel Monsters 4, Dungeon Dice Monster, The Eternal Duelist Soul, Duel Monsters 6 Expert 2, The Sacred Cards, which is awesome. Having Sacred Cards in here is fantastic. That game is tremendous. Yu-Gi-Oh! Reshef of Destruction, Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition Stairway to the Destined Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship Tournament 2004, Yu-Gi-Oh! Destiny Board Traveler, and Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 Trails to Glory World Championship Tournament 2005. Some of these, a couple of these in particular, I think 2 of them were previously only available in Japan. It's actually just one, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monster 6 Expert 2, and that's to be released in a Japanese language. The same game is essentially Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition Stairway to the Destined Duel. It is missing some very notable games because I guess the cutoff for the early days wouldn't let them be in. But if those games were all included and then it was priced at $39.99, not $50, because $50 is insane. But if it had some more games and it was priced at $40, I would say that would be a little bit more palatable. The games that it's missing are Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories on the PS1. Duelist of the Roses should be in here. That was a PS2 game. And I think there's a couple of other PS2 games that people want in there. There might be even an original Xbox game that would be nice to have. Maybe they'll do another collection. This is called the Early Days Collection. Maybe they'll do a Mid-Days Collection that has Duelist of the Roses, a Dungeon... I think there's a Dungeon Dice Monsters game. There's a lot of quality DS games as well. Nightmare Troubadour. There's, like, World Championship 2009. There's some games. Tag Force, if you want to compile all the Tag Force games, throw those in there. I think there's a lot of opportunity for other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games to be in here, but with these early games being $50 is absolutely insane. It's honestly a little bit comical, and it's obvious that Konami is trying to get a lot of value out of their classic franchise and the IPs that they have under their umbrella, which they should. They recently just juiced up the prices of the Metal Gear games on Steam. They released Metal Gear Solid Master Collection at $60, which... You know, Metal Gear is such an iconic franchise that they can get away with it, but let's be real, $60 for that collection was insane for how much of a slap-together collection it was. And now this Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection for $50 is insane. However, let me try to offer you guys a little bit clarity as far as why it's $50. So, there was also a physical release of this game that came out on the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch version of the game has a baked-in Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. Like, you get a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card for buying the Nintendo Switch version, the physical copy of the game. That is $50, and those video game promo video cards are generally valued very highly. Anybody with a functioning brain cell knows that, so they would price it a little bit higher. Now, the argument could be made, and literally, I was on a Discord call with one of my buddies, and he said, "Hey, Mush, don't you think that then the Steam version should be a little bit cheaper?" And he totally just said that to set me off, and It worked because it did set me off. It's like he knew better. Like, no, they're not gonna price it cheaper. It's gonna have direct price parity, even if the card isn't included for a digital version of the game. But yes, the physical copy of the game is $50, and it includes a special variant of the card Harpy's Feather Duster. If you're not familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh, Harpy's Feather Duster is one of the most iconic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh history. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that. It was a banned card for a long time because it was so broken, and then they brought it back. I believe it's playable now. I think it's at 1. There's no way. If they're letting people run around with 3 Harpy's Feather Dusters in their deck, this game has just gone absolutely crazy. I don't follow Yu-Gi-Oh like that anymore, but I'm pretty sure Harpy's Feather Duster is now at 1. Harpy's Feather Duster, what it does is it literally obliterates your opponent's back row. It's a spell card. You activate it, it destroys every spell and trap on their side of the board. For a long time, you had a card called Heavy Storm that was available to play. Heavy Storm obliterates everybody's back row, so everybody's spell and trap zones were eliminated. Harpy's Feather Duster literally eliminated only your opponent's back row. Heavy Storm, it's interesting because of how crazy the game got. Heavy Storm may even be a better card than Harpy's Feather Duster because destroying your own back row could actually be advantageous with things like pendulums and whatnot. But I'm not here to break down the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know what's meta right now as far as the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game goes, but Harpy's Feather Duster is a super iconic card, and that's just bundled in. The special variant of Harpy's Feather Duster is bundled in with physical copies of the game, and I would imagine that's going to appreciate in price very greatly over the years. Generally, the video game cards do, and I'm sure Konami knows that, and they decided, why would we price this at $29.99 or $39.99 when we're going to have a lot of people buying this for just the special Harpy's Feather Duster card? To be fair, they also have added online play to some of these games. I don't know if you're going to be able to find an online match for some of these games, but maybe to play with friends. Let's go to the community hub. Hey, 478 people online right now. That's actually better than I thought it would do. So, yeah, like, it's a really cool release, and I like Konami tackling their existing franchise, and I think there's a lot of money to be made, but this might be one of the most egregious price points of all time. But I will say, you know, our good friends at Green Man Gaming, they do have the early days collection at $39. It's 22% off. Let me just say, I still think that's criminally overpriced. Like, it should be $30. Again, if they had Duelist of the Roses, if they had Nightmare Troubadour, if they had some of these other games baked in their Forbidden Memories, I could see a $40 price point, that being okay. The fact that it's missing so many of these games and it's $50, it's just asinine. It's actually asinine, but I'm not gonna bug out about it too much. Like, whatever. It's a collection of older games. There are gonna be people that really appreciate it. Otherwise, you can wait for a sale and probably get some value. But I do think, legitimately, this is one of the most overpriced Steam games I've ever seen in my life, and I don't think that's hyperbole whatsoever. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts. This was a good video to also reminisce about Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm sure, like, a lot of people want to check this out, given that, again, Yu-Gi-Oh is something a lot of us grew up with. But $50, like, Konami, well, come on, man. At least bake in the other games. And if you're not going to do that, do a mid-days collection or whatever you want to call it, a new days collection. I don't know what they're going to call it, but yeah, it's all the games before, like, Legacy of the Duelist came out, which is like the 2015 game, and they did a sequel to that as well. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.